Hello guys, so I got a mic now, that's a plus. In today's video we shall be doing a voiceover, a read over, a Addendum, and a review of Outlast, a Murkoff account, issue 2. Again, this is in collaboration with Strawn. I advise you to go check out his video. If you haven't watched his first video, a card will be up here somewhere. And yeah. Also, I gotta say, I got a mic. I don't know if I just said that, but yeah. I hope the audio's not as bad as last time, because it was really bad. I didn't have a mic and I sucked at my voice work. This, I redid my voice work over and over again, and I was not in a rush to do it. So yeah, love you guys, let's get to it. Back at the hospital, the doctor interrupts Paul's conversation with the FBI agent and insists they operate on his damaged eye in order to avoid any further complications that might result from his injuries. Despite these warnings, Marion insists he finishes his story, whilst casually noting that he wouldn't mind suffering brain damage if it took away from him some of his mad memories. At Murkoff's rehabilitation center, Pauline is questioned by the company's agents about Wayland Park and Simon Peacock's relationship and whereabouts. She temporarily pauses the discussion to verify their level of security clearance by mentioning the code Eskimo Reuben. Seeing as the two agents are unaware of it, Glick states that Peacock is dead before proceeding with her story regarding Park. On October 4th, 2012, an anonymous employee at the Mount Massive Asylum had filed a complaint to Murkoff's Human Resources Department via email regarding the negligence of patient and staff safety. The Pauls were sent to find any potentially litigious dangers. Whilst investigating, Pauline develops curiosity for Murkoff's secrets and uses her clearance to access the underground lab, where she discovers a disfigured Chris Walker locked behind a cell. Moments later, Glick's greeted by Jeremy Blair. Blair gives her a quick tour of the lab, showcasing their massive project, with one of the candidates being strapped to the morphogenic engine. Having seen their activities, Jeremy informs her that it's crucial to make sure Marion understands the importance of their secrecy, seeing as Paul doesn't have the same level of clearance as her, noting that they need to weed out any employees who aren't true believers. Upon returning, Glick lies to Paul, claiming she didn't find anything out of the ordinary. The two then meet up with Michelle Has, the IT specialist who was pregnant at the time, to question her about their email system. Has notes that anyone is capable of redirecting messages through an onion router and bouncing them across several undexed servers would to be from corporate. Before redirecting them, Richard Traeger, head of business development. Traeger is later questioned by the Pauls at his office regarding his security budget cuts and potential leaks, but the man is uninterested by their conversation, frequently going off topic and providing the two with vague answers. After noticing his perversive side, Glick invites Traeger out for dinner in an attempt to find out what he's keeping from them, to which Richard happily agreed. Later that night, after a 3-course meal at a restaurant, Traeger brought Pauline over to his residence. He offers her cocaine, but she asks for a bottle of wine from his cellar. During his absence, Glick explores the room for any leads, locating a number of internet passwords, a coke stash, surgery journal, and a pamphlet for an abortion clinic. Once Traeger returned, 20 minutes went by without him making a move. Right as Pauline detects Royfill in her glass, Glick pulls out the gun at Traeger's genital area genital area and forces him to finish her drink, knocking him out in the process. In order to avoid succumbing to the drug's effects, Glick takes 2 large cocaine doses to her adrenaline after informing Paul and asking for his assistance as the two head over to Michelle's apartment. Michelle confirms to Paul's suspicions about her being the leak and notes that the baby is Richard's. Traeger has previously molested Haz and wanted to force her to have an abortion in an attempt to cover up his crime. However, her non-disclosure agreement with Murkoff meant Michelle had to keep quiet so as to avoid losing her job, as she cannot afford a child without it. Glick's general idea was to fire everyone. However, to compensate for Hazard's troubles, Marion worked out a severance package in exchange for her violence, whilst Wayland Park temporarily took over her vacant position. As they concluded their meeting, Traeger, disillusioned with anger, barged in through the door, claiming they had no proof of his misdeeds, before grabbing a pair of shears from the nearby table and impaling Michelle through the stomach, enticing Paul to clobber him. In the middle of the scuffle, Pauline intervenes and runs Richard's head against a paper shredder, leaving him with a scared scalp. Once the skirmish was over, Haz was stabilized and taken to a Denver-based hospital, where a doctor discovered a false pregnancy. Blair later revealed that 1 in 3 women working at a massive asylum had experienced a phantom pregnancy as a side effect to the experiments conducted under the asylum. To avoid a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, the companies assigned all female employees to other facilities. Jeremy mentions the code Eskimo Reuben, prompting Paul to exit his office, as Blair displays projected profits for Project Walrider to Glick. Before leaving, Pauline, accompanied by Blair, visits the lab one last time and oversees Traeger being placed into a morphogenic engine whilst pleading for mercy, but to no avail. Jeremy commemorates Glick for her actions and invites her out for a drink. Refusing, Glick casually walks away before saying, "I don't eat where I hunt." Okay, so this is the Addendum. I don't think I said that right. So, not much to add. I love this issue because Richard Traeger, he's one of my favorite characters in the Outlast series. But, yeah. I like how the stories are connecting them with the game, with Chris Walker, Richard Traeger, the Walrider, stuff like that. It's very awesome. Not much else to add. Let's go through the review. So, we are now at the review. I like the story. Like I said, the Addendum is awesome. It was great. Just perfect in my opinion. My favorite character, Richard Traeger, was in there, and yeah. So, what would I rate this?
Here's the rating up here.
Yeah, 5 stars. It's great, so I have no excuse not to rate it that. So, yeah. Also, like I said, go check out Michael's video after this. He's doing a in-depth explanation on it. And, yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I like to say a good word from a person, from a company. So, yeah. East Coast Comic Supply. Go check them out. They give you great deals on comic book supplies, boxes, bag and boards, and just pretty much anything you need. They are a Canadian-owned company, but their shipping is cheap, and their prices are worth it. But, yeah. That's the end. I love you guys. Bye.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.